Let me talk about a guy who deserves justice, Anthony Fauci. We've got the Fauci files. I'll get to the Fang files. I've been promising that. I've got that. That's breaking news today. But first, we've got the Fauci files. This is from Senator Ron Johnson this weekend. Ron Johnson, who just joined me on the radio show last week. He's furious about Anthony Fauci. He wants to see this guy in handcuffs. Here is Ron Johnson sharing a new email. This is from Dr. Janet Woodcock, real name, from May of 2021. Dr. Woodcock was the head of the Food and Drug Administration at the time, and she emailed Anthony Fauci about personally receiving reports of patients who were experiencing hard-to-classify adverse events from the COVID jab. She said that they're having trouble getting any sort of response from government officials. Quote, no one takes them seriously. No one knows how to treat them, and there is no effort to study this. Oddly, Dr. Fauci seemed reluctant to respond to her, says Senator Johnson. So, what do we have in the email? Let's take a look. Here's the actual email. Here's Janet Woodcock, real name, from the FDA, and here's what she says. Quote, I've been contacted by a number of people who have experienced adverse events. That she's writing in May of 2021, very early in the Biden administration. I've been contacted by a number of people who have experienced adverse events post-COVID-19 vaccination from all three of the current vaccines. That would be Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Many are healthcare professionals. Some of whom I know, says Janet Woodcock, real name. The symptoms do not fit together into a distinctive syndrome, and most are not easily quantifiable or evaluated with standard laboratory testing. She said, early during mass vaccination, you will get a lot of psychological reactions, and it's hard to sort these things out. But the people's main complaint is that no one takes them seriously. No one knows how to treat them. And there is no effort to study this. This is the head of the FDA. Now, none of this was public, by the way. This was all behind the scenes. These problems are not the sort that a system like VAERS, that's the adverse event system, reporting system, vaccine adverse event reporting system, the one that, remember, VAERS, this was all these reports were coming in of these side effects from the COVID jabs, and Dr. Fauci and everybody else said, just ignore VAERS. Oh, don't even pay any attention to VAERS. It doesn't matter at all. That was Fauci's position. He just thought it was noise. It doesn't matter. Like, what does it mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter? We got all these reports coming in. What's the point of the system if we're supposed to ignore it? Why do we have a vaccine adverse reporting system if we're not supposed to assess what's in it at all? Dr. Woodcock, real name, said that these problems are not the sort that a system like VAERS would be able to detect, or even a more sophisticated population-based active follow-up, such as CDC has, or a medical record-based system, such as BEST. I think it would be worthwhile to do a study and evaluate a cohort of these individuals. But of course, money needs to be made available, and you would need an investigator who is interested in medical mysteries. I doubt the industry would support it. For obvious reasons, she says. Oh. But my experience is that if you let a problem fester, then it will come back to bite you later and you're not prepared. What do you think of this? Says Dr. Woodcock, real name. Okay, so this you see at the end, she admits, you know what, the reason we're never going to get clear answers on this is because the industry doesn't want us to give the truth out, and we have to do whatever the industry wants. You know, the pharmaceutical industry. Well, they made all these drugs, so they don't want to talk about the side effects. So there's not going to be any funding available. Well, that kind of seems like a massive problem. If you're reliant on the very same industry that is generating record profits as the funding source to conduct a study on whether or not those very products are hurting people, that system is jacked. That's completely jacked. And the fact that this debate was not being held in public, that these disclosures were not being made, that American citizens were being harmed, that the head of the freaking FDA knew it and alerted Anthony Fauci to it, and they did nothing about it, that's jacked. And this is why people are demanding criminal accountability. This is why when you get a criminal referral that was just sent over by the United States Senate to the United States Justice Department, that people are asking, okay, can we put Fauci in handcuffs yet? What does it take? How many of these emails need to pop out where he's covering up the fact that Americans are being harmed by the jab that he forced on them? Oh, the Fauci ouchie. It was way worse than that.